Dear students, so our next topic is in second unit, loss of pre-stress. So this is the second topic in the second unit. Okay, first topic is we already seen it is methods of pre-stressing. So from this second topic, loss of pre-stress onwards, we will discuss problems. Okay, so what is in by loss of pre-stress? In pre-stress concrete applications, the most important variable is the pre-stressing force. Okay, so the pre-stressing force, what do you mean by pre-stressing force? So we are giving a artificial force, okay, in the concrete members. That means an external force. So before the concrete element is intended to its service. Okay, so in early days, it was observed that the precessing force does not stay constant. Okay, so precessing force it's not a constant value. So it will vary along with the time. Okay, but reduces with time. Okay, so even during precessing of the tendons and the transfer of prestress to the concrete member, there is a drop, okay, of the precessing force from the recorded value in the jack gauge. Suppose if we take a pre-tensioned beam, so initially we are structured the wires into 1000 kilonewton. Okay, so after 1 year or 2 year, we can check means it is not a 1000 kilonewton. Okay, in the precessing wires, so not having 1000 kilonewton, somewhat 800 kilonewton or 850 kilonewton only is there, because there will be a losses is there. So some of the losses will happen immediately after the precessing force, immediately. Some of the losses will happen time dependent, that means at later age. Okay, so the various reduction of the precessing force, the various reductions of the precessing force are termed as losses. So there will be a reduction in the precessing force at the initial stage or later stage. So that is called losses in prestress. The losses are broadly classified into two groups. Okay, there are two groups. One is immediate and time dependent. So these 2 points are very much important. One is immediate losses, another one is time dependent losses. The immediate losses occur during pre-stressing of the tendons and the transfer of pre-stress to the concrete member. The time dependent losses occurs during the service life of the pre-stressed member. Okay, time dependent means after 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, like that. Okay, immediate mean after giving the pre-stressing force on the tendons. Okay, the causes of the various losses in pre-stress are shown in the following chart. Okay, let us see the chart. Now you can see in this chart, flow chart, losses. It will be divided into two categories. One is immediate, another one is time dependent. So under the case of immediate, there are three types of losses are there. And in case of time dependent, again, there are three losses are there. In case of immediate, elastic shortening, friction, anchorage, slip. There are three losses are there, three types. And in case of time dependent, creep, shrinkage, and relaxation in the steel. Okay, so 3 plus 3, total 6 type of losses are there. So it will vary with pre-tension beam and post-tension beam. Okay, so for all the 6 is not common for pre-tension beam and post-tension beam. Let us see what are the losses will come in case of pre-tensioning and what are the losses will come in case of post-tension. You can see here in case of post-tensioning, all 6 losses will come. Whatever we seen in the flow chart, all the 6 losses will come in case of post-tensioning. But in case of pre-tensioning, only 4 type of losses will come. Okay, so let us see one by one. In case of pre-tensioning, elastic deformation of concrete. The first loss. Second loss, relaxation of stress in steel. Third, shrinkage of concrete. And fourth, creep of concrete. These are all the 4 type of losses. In case of post tensioning, there is no elastic deformation. There is no elastic deformation of losses is there. The condition is if you can see here, if all the wires are simultaneously tensioned, if all the wires are simultaneously tensioned, that means all the wires are tensioned at a time, means there is no elastic deformation. But if the wires are successfully tensioned, there will be a loss of pre-stress due to elastic deformation. Okay. And the second thing, relaxation of stress in steel. And third one, shrinkage of concrete. And fourth, creep of concrete. Fifth, friction. And sixth one, anchorage slip. So these are all the different types of losses occurs in pre-tensioning and post-tensioning. So now we will discuss one by one in depth. First, we will start with elastic shortening of concrete. In case of pre-tensioning, as we cut the tendons, the concrete shortens with a short interval of time, with a certain amount, which causes loosening the steel tendons, hence causing a loss in pre-stress. So we know that initially the wires are stretched or tensioned. After the concrete attained strength, we will cut the tendons. Okay, what happened? So yeah, there will be a pushing force is acting. So it come to its original position. So that what happened? The concrete is shortened. Okay, concrete is shortened with a short interval of time. Okay, so there will be a losses will occurs. Okay, in case of pre-tension member. In case of post-tensioning, as the concrete is already hardened, post-tension means when we have to do the stretching operation after concrete is hardening. Okay, so in case of post-tension, as the concrete is already hardened, after cutting the tendons, the concrete does not shorten further. Okay, because concrete is already hardened, it will not come to shorten again. Okay, but if the tendons are provided one by one instead of providing simultaneously, the provision of the second tendon causes loosening of the first tendon. So if you do simultaneously, means the elastic shortening will not come. But if you do successfully, that means one by one, means if the second tendon is stretched, means the first tendon get loosened. Okay, if third tendon is stretched, means first two tendons that already stretched. Okay, first two tendons get loosened. Okay, so if the tendons are provided simultaneously, that loss due to elastic shortening is 0. Okay, when it is 0, if the tendons are stretched simultaneously means at a time. Okay, at a time. Suppose the 5 OSR is there, means if you stretched 5 OS at a time, means the elastic shortening is 0. But if the tendons are provided sequentially, that means one by one, means the provision of the tendons causes loss of pre-stress in earlier provided tendons. Okay, the simple concept. Okay, elastic shortening is nothing but a shortening of the concrete. Okay, how to calculate this losses? There will be a formula is there. That formula is, you can see here, loss of stress in steel. That means alpha into FC. What is alpha? Is nothing but modular ratio. Modular ratio, you know that about modular ratio. So modular ratio is nothing but Young's modulus of steel to the concrete. Okay, the loss of pre-stress due to elastic deformation of concrete depends on the modular ratio under the average stress in concrete at the level of steel. So you can see here FC is equal to pre-stress in concrete at level of steel. Young's model ES is equal to modulus of elasticity or Young's modulus of steel, and EC is equal to modulus of elasticity of concrete. Okay, next alpha C is nothing but modular ratio. Modular ratio is nothing but Young's modulus of steel to the concrete. So strain, what is meant by strain? Stress by Young's model. Strain in concrete at level of steel is equal to FC. C means stress in concrete and EC means stress in Young's models in concrete. Okay, Next, stress in steel corresponding to the strain. So, according to this stress, what is the strain in steel? So, we have to multiply this formula into Young's modulus of steel. Okay, so that means ES divided by EC. What is mean by ES divided by EC? Is nothing but modular ratio alpha. So therefore, alpha into FC. Alpha into FC is the loss of stress in the steel. Okay, if the initial stress in steel is known, the percentage of loss of stress in steel due to the elastic deformation of concrete can be computed. Okay, so this is the formula for loss of stress in steel. Okay, so next we will move to second loss, that means frictional loss. So the frictional loss mainly occurs in post tension member, not pre-tension member. Okay, so in case of pre-tensioning, there is no loss due to friction, as the concrete is not being hardened at the time of tensioning the tendon. Okay, so in case of post tensioning, the tendons are provided inside the duct of a precast concrete members. So we already know. So in case of post tension member, the concrete is hardened. After that, a duct is provided. Initially, we kept a duct in the concrete beam or slab. So after concrete hardened only, we structured the steel. Okay. So the loss in pre-stress occur due to friction between the concrete surface under the tendon in the process of tensioning. So there will be a friction is occurs. So in case of pre-tension, there is no friction because we are pouring concrete above the wires only. There is no duct in the pre-tension member. But in case of post-tension member, there is a duct is there. Okay. The loss of friction is also accompanied by the wobble effect. What is by wobble effect means, if the profile of cable is linear means straight line. Okay, the loss will be due to the straightening or stretching of the cable is called wobble effect. So if you take a wire, okay, if you take a wire or a steel reinforcement, so due to its self height, there will be a sag is happen. Suppose always there will be a sag is acting. Okay, due to his self height. So it is not 100% possible make it into straight. Always there will be a sag, somewhat sag is happen. So that is called wobble effect. So due to this also some friction losses occurs. Okay. So as per IS 1343 code, the friction loss can be found out using the formula. That means Px is equal to P naught e power minus mu alpha plus k into x. You can see in this diagram, this is a post tension member. There will be a duct is there. In that duct, a parabolic cable, a curved cable is placed. Now this is the jacking end, and this wires are make an angle of alpha. Okay, angle of alpha. The distance of the center point is x. Okay, so now where P naught is the pre-stressing force at the jacking end, you can see here P naught is the pre-stressing force we are applying at the jacking end. Next, mu is the coefficient of friction between cable and duct. Okay, this mu value given in the code book, and alpha, the cumulative angle in radians through which the tangent to the cable profile has turned between any 2 points under consideration. You can see here alpha. This is the slope of the angle. Similarly, simply saying means slope of the cable. Next, K, frictional coefficient for wave effect or wobble effect. Okay. So in IS 1343 code, they given the corresponding values for mu and K. Okay, so these are the corresponding value that we will discuss later in the code book. Next, slip in anchorage. Slip means what? There will be a sudden jerk. Okay, this is immediate losses, not time dependent losses. It is immediate losses. Okay, So anchorage, as the name signifies, is a component that is used to anchor the tendons into the concrete while terminating the tendons. The main function of anchorage is to transfer the stressing force to the concrete once the stressing process is completed. Okay. So in case of pre-tensioning, the tendons are monolithically embedded into the concrete. So no external anchorage is provided, and hence there is no loss due to anchorage slip. So this anchorage slip mainly occurs in the post-tension member. Okay. So in case of post-tensioning system, as the tendons are provided inside the ducts of a precast concrete member. So anchorage is provided at the either end of the tendon to transfer the pre-stressing force to the concrete. If the anchorage displaces from its original position, generally the wedge slips immediately before attaining the proper final position. It allows loosening the tendons, thereby causing loss of pre-stress. Okay. So suppose here you can see in case of post-tension member, there will be an anchorage device is there. Through anchorage only we are applying pre-stressing force. Okay. So after giving the pre-stressing force, we are cutting the wires, or we are removing the anchorage device from the beam. Okay. So what happened? The wedges is slips immediately. Okay. After giving the pre-stressing force, the wedges at the end of the anchorage is slips immediately before attaining the proper final position. Okay. Somewhat slip is occurs. Okay. So this is called slip in anchorages. Okay. So the slip in anchorages we can find using this formula. Okay. The magnitude of the loss of stress due to slip in anchorage is computed as follows. If del is equal to slip of anchorage in mm, and L is equal to length of the cable in mm, and A is equal to cross-sectional area of the cable, not cross-sectional area of the beam cross-section. It is the area of the cable only in terms of mm square. And E is equal to modulus of velocity of steel. And P, capital P, is equal to pre-stressing force in the cable. Okay. So we know that in strength of material we discussed what is the elongation formula, PL divided by AE. So same formula only. Okay. So loss of stress due to anchorage slip is equal to PL divided by AE, or loss of stress due to shrinkage slip is equal to ES del divided by L. Okay, so this is the formula that we will discuss in the problem. Next, creep. Creep is nothing but a deformation occurs due to sustained load. Sustained load means what? So initially, suppose a particular wire is there. Okay, it is hanged on a floor, a concrete. Okay, suppose 2 kg weight is there. So initially, somewhat 2 mm deformation is occurs, or deflection is occurs. Okay, so if you after 2 days or 3 days we didn't increase the load, the same 2 kg acted on the wire, but now the deformation will be 5 mm. Initially it is 2 mm, but now it is 5 mm. Okay, so we didn't increase the load or increase the length of the wire. Okay, but deformation is increased. That is, the concept is called, that deformation is called creep. Okay, so the deformation due to rearrangement of molecules over a period of time, okay, under the application of a constant load is called creep. Okay, constant load. So that 2 kg is called a constant load. For a particular period of time, the deformation only will increases. Okay, so the deformation of concrete along the direction of the tendons makes them loosen. Okay, thereby causing losses in pre-stress. Okay, so how to calculate creep of concrete? There will be a formula is there, and also in IS 1343 code, they given the creep coefficient. So what is that creep coefficient? Okay, you can see here the loss of pre-stress due to creep of concrete can be estimated by the creep coefficient method recommended by the IS 1343 code. The values of the creep coefficient, which is the ratio of ultimate creep strain to the elastic strain. So what is my creep coefficient formula? Ultimate creep strain divided by elastic strain. Okay. So it is for 7 days, it is the value, creep coefficient value is 2.2. For 28 days, 2.6. And for 1 year, it is 1.1. Okay. So only these things is enough for calculation. Okay. So next loss is shrinkage of concrete. The volumetric change of concrete structures due to loss of moisture by evaporation is known as concrete shrinkage. Okay. So mainly at early stages of concrete cracks is happen due to shrinkage only. Okay. So due to shrinkage of concrete, the tendons are loosened and loss of pre-stress occurs. Okay. So this will, we can easily calculate loss of stress is equal to shrinkage strain. Okay, shrinkage strain multiplied by Young's modulus of steel. Okay, the loss of stress in steel due to shrinkage of concrete is estimated as loss of stress is equal to pre-stress equal to due to shrinkage equal to shrinkage strain. So here epsilon CS is nothing but concrete shrinkage. Okay, concrete shrinkage strain multiplied by modulus of elasticity of steel. So this is called shrinkage of concrete. Next, relaxation of steel. Okay, so relaxation of steel is defined as the decrease in stress with the time under constant strain. Okay, so due to this will happen very little amount losses only. Due to the relaxation of steel, the pre-stress in the tendon is reduced with the time, just like creep, relaxation also depends on time only. Okay, so like creep also a time dependent deformation, and relaxation also time dependent loss. Okay, it depends on the type of steel, initial amount of pre-stress, and the temperature. IS 1343 recommended for loss of pre-stress due to relaxation of steel is shown in the following table. Okay, suppose this is the initial pre-stress and the relaxation losses that we can take directly from the table. Okay, so these are all the losses. So let us see one by one problem. There are 6 important problems are there. So based on the problem, we can easily understand the losses, how to calculate different losses in the pre-stressed members. Okay. Student, let us see the first problem. See the example 1. So I am reading the question. A post-tension concrete beam simply supported over a span of 12 meters is of cross-section 230 mm into 750 mm and is pre-stressed with 10 numbers of 7 mm diameter bars with 0 eccentricity at the support and 200 mm at midspan. Calculate the loss due to different causes for the following data. You can see here this is a beam. So a beam is there. This is the centroidal axis. Okay. So it is 0 eccentricity. That means the cables placed like this. Yeah, curved cable. Okay. At the junction, this is the junction of the cable. At the end, there is no eccentricity. Eccentricity means the center of the beam and the cable end is exactly coincide. But in case of at midspan, it is 200 mm depth. Okay. So this is called eccentricity, E. So here E is equal to how much? 200 mm. Okay, 200 mm. So this is the question. So the grade of concrete is M40 grade. Initial pre-stress 1000 Newton per mm square. Coefficient of curvature effect mu. So mu value they given equal to 0.5 and K value 0.003 per meter. Anchorage slip 5 mm at the jacking end. Creep coefficient 1.6 and shrinkage of concrete is 0.0002. Relaxation of steel stress 3%. ES. ES means what? Young's modulus of steel is equal to 210 kilonewton per mm square. or 2.1 into 10 power 5 Newton per mm square, and EC is Young's modulus of concrete is 37.5 Newton per mm square. Calculate the total percentage of loss and the jacking force required. So here we need to calculate two. First one is how much percentage of losses occurs. Second one is what is the jacking force. That means including losses, what is the final jacking force? Jacking force is nothing but final precessing force is required. Okay, so let us see the first losses. So beam properties, area of the beam, that means area of the cross section, 230 into 750, it is 1.725 into 10 power 5 mm square. Moment of inertia, what is that moment of inertia? Formula BdQ by 12. So B is 230 and D is 750 cube divided by 12. So it is 8.09 into 10 power 9 mm power 4. Next, precessing force. So here precessing force is, how to calculate precessing force? So here you can see initial pre-stress, that means stress value only they given, force value not given. Okay, how to calculate from stress to force? That means stress into area. What I mean by force? Force is equal to stress into area. So here area is nothing but not area of the cross section. This is where we are applying pre-stress only in the cable. Okay, so we need to calculate the area of the cable. So what is the area of the cable? How much wires? Total 10 numbers of wires. What is the diameter of the wire? 7 mm. Okay, so 10 into pi by 4 into d square. So pi by 4 into d is 7 square. Into what is the stress? Stress is 1000. Okay, stress is 1000. So if you calculate this, only this area into 1000 means we got the answer in terms of Newton. Okay, but we need to calculate precessing for in terms of kilonewton. So divided by 1000. Okay, divided by 1000. So next, loss of precess due to shrinkage. So what is the formula of how to calculate shrinkage loss? It is shrinkage strain into Young's modulus of steel. Okay, that means 0.0002 into 210 or 2.1 into 10 power 5 Newton per mm square. It is 42 Newton per mm square. Okay. So next, loss due to relaxation. For loss due to relaxation, they given percentage. Okay, you can see here they given percentage. Okay, so initially you have to give loss due to shrinkage. They given the coefficient 0.002. You have to multiply by Young's modulus of steel. Okay, you can get the loss. Next, loss due to relaxation. They given in the question they given how much percentage. Okay, so 3%. So 3 divided by 100 into 1000. 1000 means what is that? 1000 Newton per mm square from the initial pre-stress. Okay, initial, there are two types of pre-stress. One is initial, another one is final. Initial means at the starting. That means after casting in the post-tensioned beam, we are giving that is initial. Final means after all losses. That is called final pre-stress. Okay, so so in this we calculated two types of losses. One is loss due to shrinkage. Just apply the formula, shrinkage strain multiplied by Young's modulus of steel. First one. Second one, loss due to relaxation is they given the percentage. Calculate the percentage with respect to the pre-stress. That means initial pre-stress. Okay, they given in the question. So next, stress in concrete. So for the next loss, we need to calculate the stress in concrete. For stress in concrete, we have one formula, that is P by A plus PE square divided by I. So P by A is the stress in the concrete, and PE square divided by I is stress in concrete at level of steel. Okay, for that we need the eccentricity. So as the cable is parabolic, So we know that eccentricity here is 0, here is 200. So for that, we can take approximately 2/3. So normally for the entire beam, we approximately eccentricity of 2/3 of E. That means 2/3 of 200, which is equal to 133.3 mm. Okay. So now FC is equal to P by A. So here A is nothing but the cross section area of the concrete plus P E square divided by I. I is the moment of inertia. So from that we easily found FC. FC is equal to 3.08 Newton per mm square. So this is the stress in the concrete. Next, modular ratio. What is my modular ratio formula? We know that formula ES divided by EC. ES divided by EC. That means Young's modulus of steel to the Young's modulus of concrete. It is 210 divided by 37.5. Okay. It is 5.6 is the modular ratio. Okay. Next, loss due to creep. Loss due to creep. So we know the formula loss due to creep pi into alpha alpha C into FC. Pi into alpha C into FC. So pi value they given in the question. You can see here, this is the creep coefficient. Okay. So you can see here in the question, they given the creep coefficient. This is called pi. Okay. So next, pi into alpha C. Alpha C is nothing but 5.6. So just before we calculated modular ratio, and FC is 3.08. So finally we got 27.6 Newton per mm square. This is the loss due to creep. Next, loss due to slip. Loss due to slip, we have the formula Young's modulus of steel multiplied by del by L. Okay. So what is Young's modulus of steel? 2.1 into 10 power 5 multiplied by slip. Slip is nothing but the anchorage slip 5 mm at the jacking end. It is also given in the question. Okay. So therefore 2.1 into 10 power 5 multiplied by 5 divided by L. What is meant by L? L is the overall length of the beam. It is 12 meter. I converted into mm. So that we got 87.5 Newton per mm square. Okay. Next, loss due to friction. So what is loss due to friction? So loss due to friction, we have the formula P naught e power mu into alpha plus k into x. Okay. So what is the cumulative angle? Alpha is equal to nothing but 2 theta. So for the theta value, we have one formula. So that you can keep it in your remembrance. So alpha is equal to 2 into theta is 4e by L. 4e by L is the formula. So substitute 2 into 4, 8 into E is 200 divided by 12,000. E is 200 is the eccentricity and L is the overall length. Okay. So from this, loss due to friction is equal to, calculate this using this formula, calculate the value. It is 102.5 Newton per mm square. Okay. Therefore, total loss. So for how many losses we calculated? You can see loss due to shrinkage, loss due to relaxation, loss due to creep, loss due to slip, and loss due to friction. Total 5 types of losses we found out. So you add all the 5 types of losses. Finally, we got one answer, that is called total loss. It is 289.6 Newton per mm square. Okay, so we know that initial pre-stress is 1000, but in this 1000 there will be a 289.6 Newton per mm square pre-stress is lost during this due to this 5 types of losses. Okay, so percentage of loss. So how much percentage from this 1000 there will be a loss? 289.6 is lost. So that percentage of loss is equal to 289.6 divided by 1000 into 100. So finally we got 28.96%. So from this 1000 Newton per mm square, there will be a 28.96% is only lost. Okay, during the due to this pi type of losses. So that initial pre-stress. So the required amount of initial pre-stress we need is 1000 plus 289.6. Okay, that means understand that initial pre-stress, before that we given only 1000. In the 1000, 289.6 Newton per mm square lost. Okay, so we need 1000 Newton per mm square as initial stress, means we have to add that particular 5 losses in that initial pre-stress, so that the finally we got 1000. Okay, our aim is 1000 Newton per mm square. Okay, so you have to add that losses into the initial stress. So 1000 plus 289.6, we got 1289.6 Newton per mm square. This is only stress. What is the pre-stressing force? So pre-stressing force is nothing but force is equal to stress into area. So 1289.6 into area. Area is the, what is that area? Area is nothing but the area of the pre-stressing steel. It is 384.85. Okay, so that we got the answer in terms of Newton divided by 1000, means the initial pre-stressing force we got 496.3 kilonewton. Okay, so this amount of initial pre-stressing force is required at the before the stretching the tendon. Okay, so if you give this amount of forces 496.3 kilonewton, the initial stress we attained 1289.6. From this 1289.6, there will be a loss. That means 289.6 will be lost. Finally, we got exact 1000 Newton per mm square as the final stress. This is your first problem. So in this first problem, you can identify one loss has been neglected. What is that? Loss due to elastic shortening, because this is post-tension member. Remember that in post-tensioning member, elastic shortening would not come. Okay. Next, we will see the example number 2. So example 2 has same like our previous problem. Okay. So a post-tension beam 250 mm into 400 mm deep is pre-stressed by 12 wires of 7 mm diameter, initially stressed to 1200 Newton per mm square. The cable profile is parabolic with 0 eccentricity at support and 120 mm at the center. The span of the beam is 10 meter. Estimate the loss of pre-stress due to various factors and the percentage loss for the following data. Grade of concrete M40. So Young's modulus of steel is equal to 210 kilonewton per mm square. Shrinkage strain is 3 into 10 power minus 4. Okay. Relaxation of stress in steel is 4%. Creep coefficient equal to 1.6. Coefficient of friction between cable and duct is 0.55. Wave effect is 0.0015 per meter length. Anchorage slip is 3 mm. Take Young's modulus of concrete is equal to 5700 root FCK Newton in Newton per mm square. Okay, so this is the question. So as per previous problem, all the data they given. So based on that, draw the diagram. You can see the diagram. So the size of the member 250 into 400. The length of the member is 10 meter. And see the cable profile. It is a parabolic shape. And the dotted line indicates the center of the beam. And at center of the beam, at the support, the eccentricity is 0. But at middle here, the eccentricity is 120 mm. So this is the given data. So let us see one by one losses. Okay. Next, loss due to shrinkage. What is the formula for loss due to shrinkage? Shrinkage strain multiplied by Young's modulus of steel. What is meant by shrinkage strain? Where it is given shrinkage strain, you can see shrinkage strain 3 into 10 power minus 4. So 3 into 10 power minus 4 multiplied by 210 kilonewton per mm square. You convert it into Newton, means Newton per mm square means it is 2.1 into 10 power 5 Newton per mm square. So finally we got 63 Newton per mm square. So one losses we found. Next come to second losses. What is the second losses? Loss due to relaxation. So for that relaxation, we need what is the initial pre-stress. What is the initial pre-stress they given? See the question, it is 1200. From this initial pre-stress, there will be a 4% losses occurs. Okay, so 4% losses occurs. So in the 1200, what is the 4% loss? It is 48 Newton per mm square. Okay, next pre-stressing force. Okay, so for that pre-stressing force, initial pre-stressing force, we need area into stress. So what is that area? So pi by 4 into what is the diameter of the bar? You can see diameter of the bar, 12 wires of 7 mm diameter. So 12 numbers of 7 mm diameter. So 12 into pi by 4 into 7 square into this is area of the bar into stress. What is the stress? 1200. Okay. So if you area into stress means we got in terms of Newton. So divided by 1000 means we got in terms of kilonewton. So it is 554.2 kilonewton. Next, area of the cross section. So area of the cross section is 250 into 400 mm. It is 100 into 10 power 3 mm square. Next, I, moment of inertia, BDQ by 12. Since it is the rectangular section, it is BDQ by 12. 250 into 400 cube by 12. It is 1.33 into 10 power 9 mm power 4. Okay. So next, stress in concrete. Okay. So how to calculate stress in concrete? So P by A plus PE square divided by I. So this is the formula. FC is equal to P by A plus PE square divided by A. So P by A, we know that P just before we calculated pre-stress, initial pre-stressing force divided by area. Area is 250 into 400. Okay. Next, P 554.2 into 10 power 3 and E. E is, since it is the parabolic shape, we need to calculate average eccentricity. So that average eccentricity is 2/3 of 120. 120 is the at center and 0 eccentricity at the support. So 2/3 of 120 is 80 mm. Okay, so 80. Next, I is, we already calculated, it is 1.33 into 10 power 9. So we got 8.21 Newton per mm square. This is the stress in concrete. Okay. So for that loss due to creep, we need 3 parameters. One is pi, second one is alpha, third one is FC. So pi, it is given in the question. That means creep strain. Creep strain is how much? 1.6. Okay, it is a creep strain. And alpha is how much? 5.83. Just before we calculated. Alpha is nothing but a stress in Young's modulus of steel divided by Young's modulus of concrete. So for that Young's modulus of steel they given. You can see here it is 210. What about Young's modulus of concrete? Young's modulus of concrete they didn't given. So for that they given EC is equal to one formula, 5700 root FCK. So FCK, what is FCK? FCK is 40. Characteristic compressive strength 40. So therefore 5700 into root FCK. So it will give in terms of Newton per mm square, you convert it into kilonewton per mm square. So divided by 1000. Okay. So because 210, it is in kilonewton per mm square. So EC also you have to convert it into kilonewton per mm square. So finally we got 5.83. 5.83. So all the values, either you convert Newton per mm square or convert kilonewton per mm square. Okay. So substitute all the values. So 1.6 into 5.83 into 8.21. So finally we got 76.6 Newton per mm square is the loss due to creep. Next, loss due to slip. Slip, what is the formula? ES into del by L. So ES is 2.1 into 10 power 5 into del is 3. 3 anchorage slip, they given in the question 3 divided by length. What is the length of the member? You can see here 10 meter. So 10,000. I converted into mm. So therefore 63 Newton per mm square is the answer. Okay. So next, referring to the figure, the final loss we have to find friction. So P naught into mu alpha plus K into X. So P naught is 1200 is the initial precessing force, initial precessing value, and mu given in the question, it is 0.55, and alpha, what is alpha? Alpha is nothing but the cumulative angle. Okay, cumulative angle is 2 theta, which is equal to 2 into 4e by L. Okay, 4e by L is the answer. So 2 into 4, 8 into E is 120 and L is 10,000, which is equal to 0.096. Okay, plus K. K is nothing but, it is also given in the question, it is 0.0015 into X value. So what is this X value? X value is the entire length. Okay, last due to, because we are applying force at here, so it is transferred entire length of the beam. So this is your, the length is the X value, it is 10 meter. Okay, so therefore it is 81.36 Newton per mm square. Therefore the total loss, what are the total losses? Okay, how many losses we calculated? Totally 5 losses we calculated. One is shrinkage, relaxation, creep, slip, and friction. Okay, I think 6 losses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 losses we calculated. So 63, you can see here 63 and 48 and 76.6, 76.6 and 63 and 81.36. So finally the total loss should be 331.6 Newton per mm square. Therefore percentage of loss. So percentage of loss is nothing but total loss divided by initial pre-stress into 100. So 331.96 divided by 1200 into 100, it is 27.7 percentage. This is the percentage of losses. Okay, so these two problems are similar problem only. They given all the parameters, just to apply the formula. Okay, for that we need different losses formula. Just apply, you can find the total loss. From the total loss, calculate the percentage of loss. That's all. Okay.